Town Bank Mortgage, NMLS number 512138, is an equal housing lender. This podcast is for informational purposes only. And now, the man born with a 5 o'clock shadow and with the NMLS number 2028-201. He is a gentleman. He is a scholar. He is
Tyler Cralle.
All right, welcome everyone to the latest edition of the Cape Fear Report. I am Tyler Cralle, of course, loan officer at Town Bank Mortgage. And joining me in studio once again, try and get her on at least twice a year, at least. Heather Ashworth from Nest Realty is with me. And Heather, good seeing you. Thanks for being here.
Hey, I'm glad to be back. Hopefully this time will actually work.
That's true. We did do an entire show that the audio didn't work or something.
I'm pretty sure it was our best show yet.
Yeah, it was really good. It was a really good show. It was a good trial run. It was a couple months ago. And what's funny is that I've only, in the thousands of podcasts that I've done, only 2 times have I ever ran into an issue where I couldn't actually publish the podcast. And both times was a podcast with you. So I think you must be giving something off onto my electronic equipment that's causing some of the issues. But thanks for being here.
Yeah,
appreciate
thanks
it
for
as
having
always.
me.
It's a long trek across the road, so I appreciate that.
I know. I came from all the way across the town.
All the way across the street, and it was a big move. But I did say I was going to let you kind of talk about what you wanted to talk about, since this is the third time now you've been on the show officially. So yeah. I was like, whatever you want to talk about, let's do it. So what's on your mind?
I mean, obviously, I'm a realtor, so we probably should talk about houses.
Well, the podcast is kind of about that.
Yeah, you're a lender. So I guess I want to talk about a little bit of what I'm experiencing, and it's April. Well, it's almost May. By the time you post this, it might be May.
It will be May by the time this is out.
So we're in the spring market, and it's great. It's fun. Sometimes there are multiple offers being seen across New Hanover County. I'm assuming Pender as well, and probably not as much in Brunswick County. We're seeing a little slowdown in a lot of places there. There's just so much building going on. But in New Hanover County, the past 2 weeks, I've been involved in 2 multiple offer situations. The house needs to be in the right location, the right updates, and, of course, the right price.
Yes.
And so the beauty contest and the price contest, you kind of have to have both in order for it to go multiples. But we're also seeing homes sitting.
Well, yeah, I wanted to ask you about that because, I was looking at some of these numbers and, for example, active listings, this is according to the Cape Fear Realtors report, there's 4,123 active listings. That was up from about 10% from last March. This is March data, when there was about 3,742. And I was trying to find, how this compares. And it does seem like our inventory levels, I went back to, 2020, right before COVID hit, and then everything got all messed up. It does seem like it's a little bit higher. So it seems like we have the inventory, but to your point, the right kind of inventory seems to be.
It's not the right kind.
Yeah. It's like houses that pop up in desired locations are getting the multiple offers, the overbid ask price, and you're still seeing a little craziness there. But you are seeing a lot of homes sit. Yeah. And is it just location, or is it also, because there was a piece in the Wall Street Journal last week, or maybe a couple weeks ago, that was talking about how the average home is now 40 years old or something like that in the United States. And needs a lot of updates. You need a new roof. It needs to be updated to, meet the latest trends and everything. And so is it, obviously location, I get it in real estate, location, everyone knows that. But is it location that's keeping them, or are you seeing houses that are actually in a good place, but they're completely out of date? And so no one's I want to go in there and do a huge project.
Yeah. This is what I'm seeing. If the house is in a great location and it's outdated, you cannot overprice it. You cannot try to push the market. You will not sell. There's no return of interest there. You're already overpaying for something that you're going to have to put in, maybe $100,000 into just to get it up to date, or just place your HVAC, your roof. So those ones are just sitting longer, and I see them actually expiring, coming just off the market entirely, just because no one wants to. They don't have the extra cash.
How long is a house on market with a contract?
Like with the contract or like sitting before a contract?
I'm saying is when you like get a seller and someone like, what's the typical length of time that you're going to be with that house before they have to, either re-up or whatever it is?
Typically we like to write our listing agreements for 6 months to a year. Depending on the situation. It's always negotiable, but a lot of times people are doing like 3 months. I've seen that too. That doesn't give you a lot of time when your average days on market is around 70.
Yeah.
So
81 according to Cape Fear Realtors, up from 77 last year. So houses are sitting a little longer.
Yeah.
But once again, that's an average.
Right.
So some houses are like gone, and then other houses are sitting way over.
Right. So you have to just be smart with your, pricing strategy and how much you're going to put into it before you list it. I've got people right now that are getting their house ready to sell, because if they put it on the market now, they're not going to get an offer. And if they do, it's going to be so low to make it worth the buyer's time, because people don't have extra cash on hand anymore.
Yeah.
The rates are so high. People are having to put down a lot of money just to make it affordable per month. So they don't have like a nest egg next to that to also put in tens of thousands of dollars of repairs.
Well, and then there's also, having to kind of, live in that house while it's getting worked on. Which some
who
people,
wants to do that?
Yeah, I mean, people right now you are seeing it's very popular. I mean, you can drive around a lot of neighborhoods and you're seeing a ton of renovation because people, they have a good rate and they're like, I'm not leaving this house. So we're just going to have to make the changes here. And so that to me, people are like, all right, I'll sacrifice living in a construction zone because of, I have this low rate and I got to hold on to it. But the people that are like, I want to move, they're like, I don't want to be in a construction zone for 3 months after I buy this house.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend. I mean, it's like super stressful buying a house as a husband and wife or by yourself. It's such like a financial responsibility. And then on top of that, you're moving, which is also super stressful. And then you get there and you can't even put your stuff away because you're doing renovations.
Yes.
You're living in dust.
Yes.
I've done that before. I don't recommend it. If you don't have to, go stay with a friend.
Now, I will say, here at town, we do have a solution. We do have a renovation loan. And it's not just that we have a renovation loan, but one of the parts of the renovation loan is you can actually finance the mortgage payments into it for, I believe it's 6 months. And so that way you don't have to live in the house while you're making these changes. And you're not coming out of pocket. So you are technically, but it doesn't feel like it. So like that is, so if someone out there, you find the house and you're like, it's just not perfect. I wish the kitchen was updated, but you don't want to have to go through that. There is a solution. We got you at town. But like I get why a lot of people wouldn't want to do that. I understand that idea that it's like, you know what, we're ready to move. Maybe rents come, their contract's coming up on the, their rental unit or whatever. And they're like, all right, we got to get out of here. And so maybe they don't have the flexibility to take the 6 months and live somewhere else. Right. So I get that. But there is an option if you're willing to do that. But I can see why people don't. While they want to like, I want to go turnkey ready. Right. I want to move in, especially with all the new houses that are around, which are kind of like, I mean, you're basically, that's what happened when you're moving into a new house. Yeah. And so it's like this, I mean, I guess that's something that also makes our area special because we have so many new houses. Because there are places to build, unlike other places, that the existing homes are competing more with new homes that have all that stuff. With rate incentives and closing cost incentives and, make your changes here. We'll give you a refrigerator. Yeah. I mean, there's some positives to buying a new home. Wilmington is hard to find new builds. If you do, I mean, we're in, upper millions, we're pretty expensive up there, but Brunswick County, Pender County, you can find some new builds at a pretty affordable price with great incentives. Yeah. So I think that definitely drives people to those places. But a resale, people are really struggling right now with reselling their home they've been in since 2021 that was built brand new, but people are still building. Yeah. And so they're already like 5 years newer and they have incentives, rates are better, and they can't sell their almost new home. I'm glad you brought that up too, because that is another thing that that is one of the downsides of buying new, is that after a couple of years, it's a used house. I mean, it's an existing house, and so it loses that luster. Yeah. And sometimes one of the ways that you get those rate incentives, the way the builders do it, is they essentially, because I mean, the reality is that all lenders, we're working with the same finance data, right? So it's like if someone's giving you a crazy good rate, then something else is happening to give you that really good rate. And so a lot of times what builders do is they say, all right, we're going to give you this like 5% rate, but we're going to charge you more for the house. Yeah. And so what happens is that So you pay a little bit more for the house, but then after a couple of years, you might not be able to sell it for that because the other houses, the people didn't get the rate incentives. It's cheaper. And so that is the only downside. If you are buying new, you got to make sure that you want to be there for a while because you're not going to be able to turn a house around, especially if you're doing some incentive package very quickly because you could be underwater for a little while.
Right.
With going with a new build.
That's true. Because,
that's the only downside.
Yeah, because prices are not, inflating at 15, 19%. Yes. I mean, thinking 1 to 4% every year, and then you turn around, try to sell it 2 years later, you're having to pay realtor fees, you're having to pay other expenses that cost. So you can't really get your money back.
Yeah, I mean,
sometimes there are situations where the right location, the right price, you're able to resell.
Yes,
the right things happen, like a new Target being built right next door.
That's very true.
I mean, talk about value, right? I guess it's all perspective, but in my opinion, Target's coming. I mean, things are growing. It's a great investment. People are going to start putting some more thought into where they're buying.
Yeah,
they can actually access a higher end, or I'm going to say higher end, but a larger place to buy what you need on a daily basis instead of driving 40 minutes across town.
Well, I mean, that has been obviously a big benefit to the outer lying areas, which used to not have anything, and now they are kind of self-contained, where you don't have to leave and go to Wilmington anymore.
Oh my gosh, it's going to be so great.
That is help. But once again, I mean, it also means that there are other areas there that you are seeing new neighborhoods, and so there is a little bit more competition in those areas because you have existing along with new. And so that's the difference between Wilmington, like you said, where if you there's not a lot of new neighborhoods, and then the new builds in Wilmington are usually like townhomes, condos. You're just not seeing like neighborhoods. There's no room for them.
True. The amount of land here is scarce.
Yes.
For sure.
It's not a lot. And so actually, what's crazy? I want to talk about this because I haven't talked about it in a little bit of a while because I think it happened in fall, I think it was. Let me see, when was this? Oh, I'm sorry, actually in February. Wilmington apartment growth was number 2 in the nation since 2020.
Really?
Yes. So this was this guy I follow on Twitter, Jay Parsons. He does like a lot of multifamily data analysis, and it's funny because every time he posts something, I always scan it to see if Wilmington's on there because it usually is.
Yeah.
It's not like, oh, we're a small town. It's like we're like in the entire nation, we're on these lists because of how much growth is happening in Wilmington. So more than 35% of Wilmington's current apartment stock has been built since 2020, according to JPI research. We were number 2 in the nation everywhere except for Huntsville, Alabama, which saw apartment inventory surge more than 40%. And the reason why was the growth that we saw in Wilmington. So Wilmington's population jumped 8.5% between 2020 and 2024, according to the Census Bureau, which outpaced North Carolina, which was just under 6%, and was way above the national average of 2.6%.
Well, I can feel it.
Yeah, it's very important because people get so mad. They go, oh man, all these new apartments. And it's like, guys, if we didn't build those apartments, it's hard for people to fathom how expensive real estate would be.
Oh, absolutely.
And the thing is, the people who are coming in are not as price sensitive as the people who are already living here. And so when those prices jump, it would push people out who are already here. Because people think, oh, it would stop people from moving here.
No.
It would stop a little bit. But a lot of those people are like, I don't care. I'll pay an extra 20% to buy this house, or I can live in an apartment or whatever because they can afford it.
That's
and it's
true.
the people who are here who are price sensitive, who don't have that bigger income because they're not working remote somewhere else.
Yeah, they're not working in a big city somewhere.
They would get impacted. And so it's like, 8.5% growth in 4 years is pretty crazy, considering how much growth we'd already seen in Wilmington. It's just nuts.
It is nuts, which brings me to a question that I have
Sure.
from my audience. So yesterday I reached out on Instagram and said, send me some topics you want me to talk about because it's my turn and I would rather hear what the people want to hear.
Yes.
So one of the responses was, oh my gosh, the traffic. Can we talk about the traffic? So to piggyback on our inflation of the masses of people, it creates traffic. Is it worse in New York City? No. Is it livable? Yes. Does it take me 40 minutes to go 12 miles sometimes. It does.
Especially,
Rush hour.
Midtown is getting rough.
Yeah. This
not gonna
whole
lie.
congestion.
If you can stay on the outer parts of Wilmington,
yeah,
you're golden. Because that's what I do.
Yeah. If you could just stay on the loops, you're good. Masonboro Loop, Greenville Loop, Middletown Loop. If you stay on your little loop, you're good in your little pockets. But if you
Greenville
have to
can
cross
get
over
a little crazy
with the construction.
Yeah, rush hour too. But if you can stay like on MLK or even Oleander to some extent, if you don't hit
every stoplight.
Eastwood, yeah. But it's like it's you're right. We're not as bad as New York City, but it's definitely changed.
This is what happens. It is what it is. And I know, they talked about that new overpass over Eastwood.
Yeah.
Or Eastwood over.
There's a lot of overpasses
military
that are planning.
I don't know how I feel about it. Like, I know it's great. It's growth. We're growing. We're getting better and easier to travel. But to me, I love that intersection. I think it just means like, oh my gosh, you're at the beach. Here we are.
Yeah.
Like, we're almost at Wrightsville Beach. We've hit the intersection with McDonald's and CVS. That to me, that feels like
that
I'm
Wendy's
ready.
is gone. Do you see that?
No.
Someone told me that Wendy's is closed.
What?
Yeah, that's what I
guess
heard.
they're getting ready. I don't know. That's so sad.
Well, but it's have you ever been in there? It was rough, and I'd heard Wendy's was making some big changes, and I thought that's one of the places that's going to close, and I heard it had closed. So,
well, I
fact-check
reckon
me if I'm wrong.
you're right. I should probably look that up. Speaking of that same intersection, another response I had was there any new shopping coming? And I am really happy to announce that there is shopping coming to Wilmington, and I'm super excited. Right across the street here, we have Center Point, which is the new multi-use area. We're going to have apartments and like a pool.
Like
and then
part of Mayfair?
It's going to be across from Mayfair.
Oh, okay.
Well, I guess it's on the same side as Mayfair, across from the Forum.
Oh, I gotcha. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
right where that little neighborhood is. It's like squeezed into like a little triangle.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Okay, so it's
right across from the library.
Okay. Now I got you.
Yeah, so there has been some confirmed announcements.
So what? So there's going to be new stores there?
Yes, there's going to be a new store. There's going to be a new gentleman's store called Thompson's, and they're already advertising, and I guess they'll open sometime next year. But it's supposed to be like a higher end gentleman's clothing store, which would be great. We need some more clothing stores.
We used to have two. Because you got Gentleman's Corner over there in Lumina. Mm-hmm. And then you had Fleischmann's in the mall. Yeah. That closed.
It did. So now we'll have a second.
So, now we got a second store.
So it'll be fun. There's also a bagel place that's supposed to be coming over there, which we could use a bagel place over here. We don't really.
That's true. You got Beach Bagel, but you got to go all the way down close to Wrightsville Beach.
So. And we also have Panera, but that's not the same.
Yeah, that's a chain.
If you just want a bagel run, I think it's called Bagel Run, actually.
Oh, okay.
So we'll just run in, run out. I heard that maybe another interior design company is going to move their office over there as well. So
it's like office and kind of like retail.
Yeah, they've already built like the apartment area.
Yeah, I've seen that.
But there should be some restaurants, and it should be a lot of like land to like hang out, and kind of reminds me not really of Mayfair when I'm seeing like all the specs, but maybe more of like the Point where it has all like the common area in the middle where people are walking and benches and things like that around. So I'm looking forward to it, and we'll see if the Avenue ever shows up.
What's that?
That is the other empty place. They're supposed to be bringing in higher end, like Gucci, and that's all. That's the word. But we don't ever know until things are actually being built.
Why don't we have an Apple store? I've never understood this. Like,
don't know.
To me, Apple computers, the people who are most likely to use Apple computers, or at least this used to be the way, were younger people because they were cool and hip. And then older people because they're easy to use, which is like our two demographics in this area that now have, lost a little bit of, now that we actually have companies and stuff here, you actually have more kind of, middle-aged people, where back in the day it was like a lot more just young and old people. I don't know. We've never had it. We had like this weird like Apple store, like Mac something that was in the Forum. But it's always blowing my mind we don't have an Apple store.
Maybe it's coming. We have two opportunities for them to come. One. The Center Point or the Avenue, if the Avenue does happen. I know I've seen, drawings of it and everything, but nothing's being built. But at least Center Point has actually broke ground and we're headed in the right direction. Yes. So we have leases in place of stores that are coming. So
I didn't realize, because I went back on Google Earth and was like looking around that area, because I was like, that where they built that little like kind of thoroughfare or whatever it is that that you can cut through to get to Oleander. or sorry, Eastwood.
Yeah.
And I went online. I was like, I didn't realize that they knocked down some houses to build that. I thought that was just open space. And I mean, it was a little bit, but
there
they
was
actually,
like literally the houses.
They had to knock some houses
like,
down.
like an estate looking home.
Yeah.
I saw.
I didn't realize that. Like because my parents used to live in Landfall, and so I used to come out that back gate all the time. And so I was always used to looking across into that fence.
Yeah. And
I didn't realize those houses did come out much further than they are now. So they actually did have to knock down some houses to build that. So that kind of surprised me. I'd forgotten that because you just kind of you see something all the time, then all of a sudden it changes, then you get used to the new way.
That's true.
And I forgot the way it used to look. And I was like, oh, wow, there actually used to be some houses there they knocked down.
Yeah. I mean, I remember when they built Mayfair, it was like all of a sudden I rolled up in Wilmington. It was all of a sudden. It was so weird. But now I don't remember what it looked like.
It was a cow pasture.
Yeah, I don't remember it at all. It's crazy how that's changing.
2-lane road.
That is wild.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have another question.
Okay.
Who are the people buying the $1 million homes? Any idea?
Well, I mean, $1 million home
local?
is like.
Are they business owners? Are they?
Now, are they talking multi-million or just like $1 million home? Because like $1 million home's like kind of normal now.
That's true. So, I think so. First, we should preface that like right now, buying $1 million home is very normal around here. Like $1 million is not as big of a deal as it was 6 years ago.
But it's not like a like mansion. Which,
no.
We were growing up, like if you had $1 million house, it was like on MTV Cribs.
Yeah, I guess if we compared like $1 million home now, it'd be more like 3 million, maybe 3 million plus. Yeah. I do know recently we've had quite a few homes sell in the 3 to 4s, and I know one of them is a private business owner in town. I've heard a couple, bigger doctors are coming. We are opening up a medical center here, hopefully.
Yeah, medical school.
So that will help.
Get some retired bigwig doctors
to
maybe come down and be
That'd
professors.
Be great. That'd be really great.
But I mean,
developers are moving here too. Land developers, like big commercial developers are buying. I know one that recently moved here from Charlotte. He bought a, $2 million home here in Landfall.
I would say a lot of them. I mean, because here, this is just the reality with high price real estate is that usually if you're buying like a 3 million plus home, then more than likely you're usually gonna own a couple of those homes. For the most part,
usually
like
it's not your only home.
Yeah. Like maybe like 1.5. You could see someone maybe that's like their only home, but like when you get above that level, it's like they probably own a couple. So a lot of the $3 million deals plus, it's like second homes for people. Either they're planning on moving here and they live somewhere else right now, or they just want a second home.
Yeah.
Because like I said, it's every time I see like a big sale, it's always like someone who does not live here.
That's true. And
it's like someone who like is in Raleigh or
a lot of tech company like people,
yeah.
That are moving here or buying second homes here, or figure eight. You've got like celebrities. You've got
what was it? Was it UNC football coach that had the big house that sold like
12 million?
Yeah. And so it's like that's a lot of what those big houses are. Is it's going to be someone's, like I said, they're either going to at some point move here or they're just going to keep it as a second home.
Which is great.
It's like that's what's interesting about that level is that usually it's not like you're not buying one home that's worth $3 million and that's all your money. It's usually you have like 4 of them, which is so weird, but
it's wild.
Yeah.
We're here to help, right, Tyler?
I will definitely do a loan for someone that wants to buy 3 because I will say that it'll probably be, a little bit complicated because they probably have like 50 LLCs that they run everything through. That's the other problem is when you get the really wealthy people is they have very interesting financials because, they got accountants they're paying a ton of money to find ways to benefit them. And so they have a whole bunch of LLCs and they got houses in them and then they got businesses and they got pass-throughs.
Yeah, they're deducting things causing less income.
Yeah. They'll still have enough, but it's just like, you're like, oh my gosh, like you got to document everything. And it can be kind of fun. And you're like, wow, I never thought about doing my taxes that way.
It's valid.
But that's why those accountants make a ton of money. Because they're very good at what they do.
That is very true. Yeah, that's very true. I also feel like a lot of people in construction, like that are blue collar, like owners.
Yeah.
Like electrical owners and plumbing owners of companies. Like I feel like they're making a ton money, and they're buying a lot of real estate.
Yes.
I mean, I met someone the other day that owned a drywall company, and I was like, I really thought of that as like a company that you own that installs drywall. It hasn't really occurred to me. Well, I mean, after 2008 happened, essentially what happened is a lot of the skilled labor that were, home building, building dried up. I mean, it's very fascinating if you go and actually look at the data about what happened after 2008. And I mean, we stopped building houses. But people were also not buying houses because it scared them so bad. And so you just saw like 5, 6, 7 years of just really anemic growth in the construction industry. So now it's coming back, and a lot of those people retired or left the business, and they're like, I'm not going back to that because everyone's shell shocked from it. And so we have a huge shortage. And you're seeing people saying, I'll pay whatever if someone can come here and fix my plumbing or do electrical work or drywall. Show up.
So now all of a sudden, those people are making a killing. And let's hope the market, and the way the markets usually work is all of a sudden people will start getting into those industries, and then it will drive down, the prices a little bit.
It's a roller coaster.
And then, it'll go back. But right now, it's like these HVAC guys.
Oh my
gosh. You see how much money they make, and you're like, wow.
And it's hard to get on their schedule. We need more people. Like if you
it's hard work too.
If you are someone in the service industry, this is your PSA. We need you, and I would love your contact information if you're honest and willing to show up on time and call me back. Answer the phone. Yeah. If I can find someone that answers the phone, they're on my vendor list. 100%. If you send me to someone else and never call me back, it's really hard to recommend you. Yeah. Or refer you because
that's true for everything.
So call me back. If you see this podcast or hear it, send us a message. We'd love to add you to our vendor list so I can send you out to my clients.
Yeah, I mean, what's funny is that like everything's like a service now to some extent. Yeah. So even though like technically, that's definitely true for most of the businesses in real estate. And it's like the number one thing that you always hear that why someone works with someone is like when I call them, they pick the phone up. Yeah.
Honestly.
Or they'll call you back within a few minutes. It's like I was on the phone with someone else that called you back right away. But yeah, it blows my mind how many people work in just real estate and just do not pick up their phone. And you're like, what are you doing? And it's not like, older people don't do it, young people do. It's all over the place. I know some people.
It's not an ageist thing. Yes. This is a real life. Everyone, no age is unnoticed.
I know a ton of young people who don't pick up the phone, and I know older people who pick up the phone every time. And it's just like, that's crazy. I mean, it blows my mind that and I get it. Like if you're calling someone at 9:00 at night or something, okay, fine. But 3:00 in the middle of the day. You better be calling me back within 30 minutes. Yeah. Because it's like, we got stuff to do. We got, it might just be like a simple thing. Yeah. But some people just
real estate moves fast.
Yes.
And if you do not move fast, I have learned you will lose out.
Yeah.
100%, almost every time you will lose out if you do not work at a rapid pace.
Yes.
To answer the phone, call someone back. Just communicate at all times, which is also a downfall too of our job, right? Like, yeah, we can't, if we... On a Saturday afternoon, it's 2:00 and we leave our phone accidentally because we're at the beach and we didn't hear it. Well, we just lost a client.
It can happen.
And you were just trying to enjoy an hour of your time and you lost a client.
Yeah. I mean, I think I said this on the last podcast. It's like an old Yiddish adage where it says, man plans, God laughs. And I said, but in real estate, it's like man plans, client laughs, because it's like, you're like, I'm not going to do any work today. Like, I'm going to take the day off. And then your client calls, you're like, nope, I guess I'm working.
Just kidding.
Yeah. And it's like, I mean, you can't just ignore the call and lose the client.
Yeah, you could.
Then you're not going to get the commission off that. And so I mean, you really can't make your own schedule, but then you also make your own pay. That's the other part.
That's true. People, I feel like that kind of goes, like, people ask me all the time, like, so think about getting into this part-time. I'm like, there's no part-time. Like, you're either all in or you're all out. If you don't put in your 20 to 40 hours a week, you're not going to get much out of it. Like, oh, well, I'll just do it, like, in my spare time, like when my husband's at work. And I was like, no, actually what happens is your husband comes home from work and then he takes care of the kids so you can go show houses. And then on Saturday after the soccer game, you go show houses and your husband has to take the kids. Like, there's no, like, you have to do, your schedule has to be, it's like a whole family, like, commitment.
Yeah.
It's not just me and my job. Like, it's not just a 9 to 5, when I work. Like, you have to be flexible.
Yep.
But there are some times where I'm off all day long and I can kind of work from, meetings and the office. Like, I can go to home, I can go to the beach and take a few phone calls. But typically, like, we are very much on someone else's schedule.
Well, it's funny too. It's funny also because, like one day where you don't have anything to do, it's kind of fun. But then the second day, you're like, you start panicking.
Right?
Why isn't no one called? Why has no one called me?
And then you start wondering, like, did I drop the ball?
Like, something going wrong. Did I mess the deal up? And that's why I haven't gotten any referral. Like, it's like one day you're kind of like, oh, it's kind of nice. Everything to do. I just kind of hung out. And then by day 2, you're like, I don't like this.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah.
It's like a panic starts to set in. But, all right, you got any more questions? Or was that it?
I filtered through. Those are my favorite ones, and we'll stick with that. I appreciate the feedback on Instagram. Those were great topics, and maybe we'll do it again like that.
I like that.
I mean,
a little.
Give the people what they want.
That's true. That's very true. And I mean, and not surprised by the topics, like traffic and maybe shopping would.
We need more shopping. I need more clothes I can go try on and figure it out instead of online shopping and sending it back.
Well, I was going to say.
Well, we are about to have a new Amazon, and we'll have same-day shipping.
Oh, a new Amazon
The Amazon
center?
warehouse is coming right across the bridge. OTB, in case you didn't know.
I did not know. Well, I mean, I'd seen stuff about it, so I didn't know like what
so
that meant.
we might have same-day shipping from Amazon. For some items, obviously, and as it grows and gets bigger. But,
I do wonder if there's going to be like a snapback where people are going to be like, you know what, I hate buying clothes online.
I see it happening. I see some of my friends are actually starting to come around. I've never been a great online shopper unless there's one store that I shop at online. I know my size. That's about it. Other than that, I am going to a local store here and I'm buying it. This is from a local store. I mean, earrings are from a local store. I love touching and trying and just perusing the aisles.
Well, it's all, also because, if you have a brand, like I buy the same dress shirts from Joseph A. Bank and I kind of like the way they fit. I've thought about branching out, but then I'm like, all right, well, I got to see, because they're all fit differently, and it's like
The
they're all
prices
even
and the
though,
sizes are different.
Yeah, even though they're technically the same size,
they're not.
It'll fit differently. And it's like, so I'm like, so I just keep staying with them because I'm like, I don't want to try anywhere else because I don't want the hassle of buying the shirt, doesn't fit, I got to send it back, try another one, get it. And it's like, I'll just keep buying the size I know.
Well, you're also a creature of habit.
Yeah, that's true. But
there's also that.
Yeah, but so I think it also stunts people from trying new stuff.
That's true.
Because it is such a hassle to have to put stuff, mail it back and take it to the FedEx store or wherever. And I mean, they make it super easy. I'm not taking a shot at FedEx, but like, it's just having to drive there. There could be a line, and I don't know.
Find a parking spot.
Yeah, this is like the
We're
most
so spoiled.
Gosh, it took me 5 minutes to return something. Because it's funny, I'm listening to, what's the book I'm reading right now? I can't remember. But basically, it's about like the growth of the United States economy. And, they talked about, how, when rail came about and steamboats and everything, and all of a sudden we could travel places. And for the first time, people weren't traveling for work. They actually traveled for leisure. Like doctors started prescribing people to go on vacation for their health.
Okay.
Because back in the day, you didn't travel. Like most people, 90% of people lived and died in the same 10 miles.
That makes sense.
Because it was so hard to go anywhere. And they talked about how all of a sudden now, you could travel to another continent, you could travel to another, part of the country and come back, within a reasonable time. And it is funny now because you talk to those people and be like, I'm buying something from this online store. It's getting shipped to me in a day. I'm then
from
trying
California.
it on. I don't like it. I put it back into the same packaging. It cost me no money. And it took 5 minutes and I go to a store and they have everything already. I just hand it off and then I walk off. And I'm like, that was annoying. It's hysterical.
We are so spoiled. Yeah, my kids are just like, Alexa, order me a gold chain from Amazon. And I'm like, what? What just happened?
Well, I remember you guys had to turn that off. Remember it was coming to your phones and they were prank calling all of your numbers. And I was like, why is Heather calling me 5 times? And I was like, oh, wait, hold on. I think her children have gotten a hold of her phone.
God bless them.
But I mean, it is kind of interesting that, the tech changes that are happening in our everyday lives, but then also what's impacting the industry. And that's like the big, I was talking to two guys last night who are both big tech people who work, for well-known companies. I'm not going to say who they are. And they were telling me how they make their own apps now for like things they need to do. Like someone was building a house. One guy was building a house. And so he built an app that allows him to like go into the house and like take a photo of it and then say what he wants to have done to that part of the house. And then it sends it to the builder. Oh. And I mean, it was like amazing. And he was like, yeah, I just built it just for me. And
Some people are so creative.
But because of AI, he can now do it so much quicker.
Yeah, we could have a whole podcast on AI, right? Yeah. Like maybe we should do that next time.
Yeah, we probably should. But it just, I was like, I didn't realize it had gotten to that point where people are now just like making their own apps just for their own use. And like they're like, the 4 or 5 person team that they might have. And they're just using their own app that they made.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh man, because you have companies that make these apps for that exact purpose, and so now if everyone can make their own app,
that'd be wild.
Yeah, I mean, it just blew my mind, and I was like, that's just it's amazing that people can do that, and I got to learn how to do that.
Maybe we can have an AI podcast for like literally the AI is me. You can have a conversation with me.
Oh, really? So you're gonna make like your own like an AI
a version of me, and you can see what would happen. It'd be kind of fun.
Yeah, what happens if she's like more fun than you?
That's not possible.
I'm just saying it's going to be AI you.
That's
so it would
not
also
possible.
be fun.
That would be fun. Just not, you can't replace me.
You're the one that brought it up.
That's true. True.
If you were further away, maybe, but since you're so close, it would actually probably just be easier.
Yeah, that was kind of far.
On.
That stoplight was long.
All right, you got anything else?
No, I'm good.
All right.
Tyler, thank you so much for having me, and I look forward to the next time.
Yes, there will be a
next time. And I hope
this
audio works today. And
everything looks pretty good. So
okay, good.
I think we're good. So Heather, Nest Realty, thanks for being here. Appreciate it.
Thanks. Happy Derby.